Hi, my name's Kristen, and I'm going to start a revolution. Well, maybe not, but it's going to be pretty revolutionary for around 2,000 Kiwis each year between the age of 20 and 45 who are diagnosed with cancer.
At the end of 2008, my husband and I were anticipating the arrival of our second child, a little baby girl. But as her due date grew closer, we became increasingly aware that things were not going as they should, and she was not growing like she should be. So the day after Christmas, on Boxing Day, they induced me and we delivered Chloe, 5 pounds 4 ounces. She was tiny, but beautiful and healthy. They looked her all over and discovered that they couldn't find anything wrong with her, and they could find no cause for her being so undersized. So they sent us home. And it wasn't for another 10 weeks that we discovered the problem lay with me. I was having fevers and night sweats. I was feeling really quite unwell, and I was struggling to recover from the birth. It was at this point that we discovered there was actually a massive tumor growing in my chest. It had grown so large that it was bulging out the rib cage on my left side, and it completely squashed my left lung and wrapped itself around my heart. This was a shock, and with a new family and our dreams and our life ahead of us and our goals, we were absolutely blown away. I think partway through my hospital stay, my husband and I looked at each other and said to each other, we bought that land. We had dreams of building this house on a beautiful piece of property up near Nelson, and we were so excited. And while I was in the hospital and we were waiting for the results of the tests, the deal had gone unconditional, and so we were soon to be owners of this new land. But we were also soon to be undertaking the monumental task of bringing me back to health, because what they found was that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of lymphatic cancer. And so I had 6 months of chemotherapy treatment to go through, and then another couple of weeks of radiation therapy in Christchurch. And all this while raising a young family and attempting to build a house and forgetting my career. I know in those first few weeks, we didn't fully comprehend the challenges that we were going to have to overcome. In New Zealand, there's 2,000 young people like me diagnosed each year with cancer. They're in a little talked about category, and their survival rates haven't increased since the 1970s, despite there being increases in both the age groups younger and older than them. The psychosocial stresses put on this age group are unique because these people are in the prime of their life, and they're looking at raising a young family, buying their first home, continuing to study or climb the career ladder. There is so much that people are trying to achieve, and your whole life goes on hold. When you're told you have cancer, there is a massive path to undertake to get well, whether it's surgical or through chemotherapy or radiation. None is an easy option, and all of them take their toll on young people emotionally as well. When I walked into Nelson Hospital for my first chemotherapy session, I was scared. But what threw me even more was looking around the room of all the various patients in their lazy boys getting their chemotherapy infusions, and realizing that I was the youngest person in that room by at least 20 years. Over the last 4 years, I have met other young survivors like me, and these people, these friends, have become a rock for me, a place of understanding and empathy for a situation that is really quite uncommon. But it's not a hopeless situation. There's so much we can do and so much support we can provide. Through building a community, through offering stress management and holding retreats, through providing information and inspiration, and connecting young cancer survivors with each other to remove the feelings of isolation. So what I'm asking today is for your support to help me build a community for these young people, to build and launch a web page packed full of information, inspiration, and stories of other young New Zealanders living with cancer. I'll be able to offer these young cancer survivors ways to connect with each other, despite the great distance or the small numbers, and we'll be able to hold retreats and offer meditation and stress management. My big dream is that through informing and empowering these young New Zealanders, we'll not only improve the quality of their life, but we'll give those uninspiring survival statistics a run for their money.